The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show.
Yes, indeed. Lucky you, you're back for another episode of Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by the Homeless Veteran Transition Program Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McLean, here with the best co-host a man could ever ask for, Mr. Andreas Sebastian Guillermo Guadalupe Ruiz.
Something like that.
Yeah, for sure. He actually doesn't have a middle name, but he's one of my best friends. We make fun of each other, and that's what we do. I believe in myself. He is a coach. He is a speaker. He is a leader and a change maker. Thank you, my friend, for joining me.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we have a great show for you all today. Some great guests, as I always promise you, and I always deliver. But as I always say, this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if I did not give grace to a very loving God. That I was crying and screaming and thanking so much as I came into the studio today, because I'm so blessed to the life he allows me to have, and it wouldn't be possible without him. Usually thinking with the Lord's Prayer, there's a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So that being said, I have one of my many brothers in Christ, one of my many warriors there on the front line with me to try to do some of the kingdom work and make our Father proud, Mr. Alex Liu with Ripple Studios, who is becoming a fast and very top of the list friend. So thank you
Honored.
for joining us once again in studio, brother.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
So for people who aren't familiar with what is, who is, where is, when is Ripple Studios, fill them in on, what you guys are and what you guys do.
Yeah, so Ripple Studios is we cover the full production for small businesses and nonprofit organizations. And we do everything. So short form content, video podcasts, documentaries, videos for your website, speaking events, training camps. We also film like retreats. So everything that's revolving around video production that we do.
Interesting. A question I didn't ask before, I don't think I've ever asked you, and they say you shouldn't ask a question you don't know the answer to, but I'm going to break that rule right now. What was it, video that had originally got you into this? Like, what was your hobby or the thing that was your love and passion that kind of had you find that?
That's a funny story. So growing up, I always loved watching movies. So
yeah, me too.
So
Andreas quotes him at least 3 times a day.
I love that. I love that. We need to talk more.
Yeah.
So movies inspired me as a teenager.
Yeah.
And it gives me so much hope. Movies like Shawshank Redemption and Forrest Gump. Because growing up, my dad wasn't always around, and so that was like the one thing that as a teenager gives me inspiration.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And
almost like you're raised by it in a way.
A lot of ways where it gives me a better worldview. And I always knew I want to be a director. I want to make movies that inspire people. And so I went to film. So I moved here to the States, and I went to film school. And about a year and a half in, I dropped out of film school. And at that time, I actually didn't know that I got into film school because I just love movies. I wanted to make movies one day. At that time, I actually didn't know that you can make money. You can make a living out of doing videos for people. I actually have no idea. But I met one of my best friends at a networking event. At the time, I was working for a personal development company, and he knew I went to film school, and he hired me to film his first talk. And I didn't even know how to charge him. I was like, bro, I'll just film it for you for free. And then he hired me again. He loved the video, hired me again. And he's like, till this day, he's still my best friends. And in that moment, he's like, I'm going to pay you this $500 cash so you can hold this in your hand and just feel it. And so I was like, you know, fresh dropout of the college, and I have like, you know, make this video for him. I loved the experience, and he just paid me cash. And I sat in my car. I was like, no way, I can do what I love and make a living out of this. Like, this feels kind of illegal.
That's wild that you say that. 'Cause I'm gonna turn it over to Andreas because that is very similar to his story of how he got into speaking when he used to like do it for free, you know, for people because he just enjoyed doing it. And then one lady asked him, "How much do you charge?" And then she paid him that amount. And then from there, now he's flown off, you know, around the United States ostensibly to speak because
that's amazing.
That's, you know, he didn't realize he could make money doing what, you know, he does now, what you do now, you know. So it's
yeah. So that's really cool, man, your story, and absolutely love that, you know, what you're doing. And I think it's really important what you're doing when it comes to like short form video. And, you know, for the people that are listening out there, you know, what kind of advice or what kind of tips would you give somebody who's trying to grow their social media, or, you know, trying to find those customers on social media? What kind of tips would you give them?
Always looking for free advice, aren't you, Andreas?
Absolutely,
you're already
man.
doing a lot of stuff.
That's a really good question, because you know, sometimes people think that, oh, I need a lot of budget to start posting content and hire a full-on production company. I actually, honestly, you know, if we even recommend starting, even if you don't have a lot of budget, just invest yourself, just film on your phone. Like get a microphone, because audio is very important, because people are not going to watch your video if it just doesn't sound good. You know? So yeah, there's a mic right there, and then we're speaking into a professional mic
right there.
So audio is really important, because you want to be able to, for people to listen to it and understand the message you're trying to get across. And you can invest in the mic in about $50 to $100. A really decent quality mic, and connect to your cell phone. And so sometimes I think what's holding people back is fear. It's like, okay, what people are gonna judge me and stuff like that. And really just I really think making videos online, it's a muscle. It's just like anything. And so for me, like when I, you know, work with other clients, even me filming on myself, it's in the beginning, there's a learning curve. But once you get over to that learning curve, it's actually really fun to make videos. And you can change, you know, you can improve and take those reps in and improve based on, you know, what engagements you get. And then, you know, at some point it'll start to feel like a game, you know? And it's also rewarding, because I can't tell you how many times I myself get clients from social media DMs. And I was working with a real estate team, JC Home Team. Shout out. It's a, you know,
shout out
great
to JC Home Team.
They're amazing. They are great. And then I was talking to the guy, and he was telling me how, you know, he would just get clients from DMs, right? There's just like people following him, and when one of his clients he sold, you know, a home to, that he's high school with him, and they were never talked for 10 years, but he's been following him, and he reached out when he started to posting videos. And so you would be surprised once you get yourself out there and just put yourself outside of your comfort zone, that the people you're going to reach. And really focus on, because when you're posting content, focus on sort of 3 pillars, right? Entertain, educate, or inspire. So if your content hit at least one of those, people are going to watch. So people are online, they're looking for something, right? People want to be entertained, or they want to be educated, they want to learn something, or they want to be inspired. They want to feel motivated, inspired.
We should work to do all 3 at all times, right?
Yes. If you hit all 3, that's like the sweet spot. Boom. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I want to write those down.
Nice. So for people like that are looking to grow the social media, or customers, you know, get customers on social media, is that something that you can help them with? Or
yes. So here's the thing. I would really recommend. It's a whole new level when you start to work with a professional team, because there are so many ins and outs about social media, and to make the videos to look good, to sound professional, and to say the words that really resonate with people. And so we help people from start to finish, from planning out the shoot, script, and ideas, and we make sure that the videos that we're creating is result driven. So we'll bring more customers to you by the videos that we create, through the ads that we run, the strategy that we customize, just depending on their goals and their needs.
Nice.
So yeah.
So for people who want to utilize your services, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can go to ripplestudiosaz.com. That is ripplestudiosaz.com, and then you can contact us there.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, Alex, thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Good stuff.
That's Alex Liu with Ripple Studios. I'm Pastor John McClain. Across from me, Andreas Ruiz with I Believe in Myself. Definitely check them out. As always, I want to thank our sponsors, Proper Villains for Tucson We Care, Tucson 100 Plus Guys Who Give, White Stallion Ranch, Tucson Tool Shop, Don Till Dust Landscaping, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Hope Dealers Global, CB2PGA, and Pep Inc. And if all the sunshine in your life has gone away, just consider it maybe nighttime. Yeah, well, it's just like when you speak authentically, it goes well. And that's most people, that's why they have a hard time. When they get nervous, they want to make up stuff where it's like, no, you're nervous, just be yourself. Yeah.
One, two, test, hello. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, what's your favorite movie of all time? Tell me that. I gotta ask you that question. When you said Forrest Gump, you really honestly, that's one of my favorite. It's good stuff. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's Major League. I love Major League. Yeah.
Traffic on I-10 and I-19 is moving smoothly. Traffic on I-10 and I-19 moving smoothly so far this afternoon. Nothing to report. There might be a little slowing in the westbound lanes of I-10 through Ruthroff Road. On the surface streets, we have an injury accident at 22nd Street and Tucson Boulevard. A possible injury accident
Or Mrs. Doubtfire.
on Ina Road east of Oracle.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
I like Fight Club.
Yeah. That's one of the movies that I watched during that time. And kind of, yeah, feel tired. Yeah.
I also like The Social Network. I think that's a good one that really kind of is like a very inspirational. Yeah.
A hazard on Orange Grove Road west of Camino de Corso. A hazard of some kind on Orange Road west of Camino de Corozal. That's traffic. I'm Tom Fairbanks on 106.3 The Groove.
Yeah, we're gonna work. He's the production manager at my new studio. I hang out with him almost every day. Yeah. So what are we thinking today, bud? Let's talk about how you shaved your beard.
Shaving my beard and my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Babyface Billy.
Here.
You got the FBI out front looking for a guy named Babyface Billy? Something about a bank robber? Rob the pool test?
We'll do the usual kind of what to do it when, and then I want you to kind of give us a virtual tour. We're gonna walk in the front door and take us through all the way to the back trailer.
I also have that online for virtual tour for video for last week.
Okay, yeah, we'll speak about that. So give us like a audio story, virtual story, and then we'll talk about your online presence. Some of them I'll throw them in.
I'm working on like a massive kit that I've been putting together for people, so we maybe can make that
Okay.
you know, we're putting together kits for people.
Okay. We'll
You
do
guys
it.
do like decent mechanic, reading all the sockets and wrenches and things like that. So
It's for the trade. Trade kits. Okay.
people can just drop off the wares. about the virtual tour, and then after I get off that, ask him about his online presence. 'Cause he'll probably mention the virtual tour online that they have, and then you can ask him about tell us about some of the other online presences that you have, other places people can find you online. I was messaging. What happened? I was saying I'll start off with asking about him giving us like an auditory virtual tour, like explaining what the place looks like. Okay. And then you ask him about in that he's going to talk about how they have it online, they have a virtual tour on the website. But you ask him about what are the other online presences and other places people can find them online.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McLean, here with Homeless Veteran Transition Program, Andrea Sherry. Oh, no, wait.
Nope,
with coach and speaker and author. And, man, I don't know. You have so many different titles, but he goes under the umbrella of I Believe in Myself, and his name is Andreas Ruiz.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you once again for joining me, my friend. Yeah. For
Grateful.
people who want to maybe get some motivational coaching, learn how to be a motivational coach, write a book, and want to get a hold of you to help them do it, how can they do that?
Yes, they can contact me at 520-392-9179 or at ibelievecal@gmail.com.
Or they can, the Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram,
they can just
LinkedIn.
show up to your house.
Yeah,
and they
sure,
look
why
you,
not?
just
Yeah.
Google you.
Yeah.
And we have another buddy here in studio with us. So should be the laugh should continue to come. We have Mr. Billy Hill, the longtime baseball star in my heart of Tucson, and the owner of Tucson Tool Shop, a man who didn't realize he had a dream until the dream was presented to him, and he said, yeah, I can live with that. And that dream was Tucson Tool Shop. And for those who do not know what Tucson Tool Shop is, Bill, tell them.
It is formerly Kent's Tools,
Okay.
right there on Grant and Stone. Many people have driven by it. If you've ever driven up or down Grant Road in the Stone area, you've probably seen us.
Mm-hmm.
I took over in September of 23 and had to change the name.
The place has been looking great, by the way.
Thank you.
The facelift that you gave the place,
A little
looks-
bit of
yeah.
little bit of paint.
Little paint
and
will do the trick. Yeah.
Some nice signs out front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a whole bunch of tools. Like it's like you say, it's really hard to miss. But kind of on that note, walk us from the front door to the back fence, and like explain to people who haven't had the good fortune of going to Tucson Tool Shop, what does it look like? What are we seeing?
Well, when you pull up, there's a whole bunch of toolboxes and rolling things and larger things out front. Like the long 6-foot long Snap-on toolboxes, or the Craftsman toolboxes on wheels, or table saws and hand trucks and dollies. Just the larger stuff that's easier for us to roll in and out every night and every day. And
you made a face when you said it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
process.
fun. Yeah, it's like Tetris every day.
Yeah.
I
like
new
that.
stuff that's always coming in and out, and so I got to try and figure out how to work it all into that
Well,
little tight
thankfully
spot.
you're really good at that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, so you got the stuff that you will in and out
Mhm.
that out front that people are pretty much noticing as they're driving by
Yep.
every day. Mm-hmm.
And then when you walk in, the first aisle to the left is a lot of automotive, like scan equipment, OBD2s and analyzers, and also some of like the AC gauge manifolds, things like that. Also screwdrivers and torque screwdrivers. And then after that is like the main aisle where a lot of people love to go and have fun. It's the sockets, like, you know, everything from like quarter to 1-2-inch drive sockets, new and used, sets, individuals, you know, things like that. Also the wrenches. And then the next one after that is all the like pliers and vice grips and things like that. To the right behind the register is a lot of the precision measuring tools, the calipers and micrometers, also like boring bars, and, you know, the really...
They're not that boring.
Yeah. But there's, you know, just like a lot of the precision machinist tools and things like that are, you know, to the right when you walk in. And,
Okay.
you know, past that, we have the plumbing aisle with all your pipe wrenches and the ratcheting threaders and all that kind of stuff. And then the abrasives are after that with the sandpaper, cut-off wheels, saw blades, things like that.
And I feel like you go in this original room, and then there's a room to the front, and then there's a room to the left, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk us to the left.
So if you go to the left, there are a bunch of like new and used hammers and axes and hatchets and things like that. And then as you go around the corner, there's a whole bunch of clamps and vices and anvils. A lot of the larger stuff that we don't put out on the line every day is back there, like the 60, 80-gallon compressors that are, you know, a couple 100 pounds and are hard to move. The big band saws and table saws. Also like work belts and bags and things like that. And then in the back corner of that, there's also like the air hoses and electrical cords and things like that, pulleys and pulley pullers. And then you walk out the back door, and that's where the real fun begins. And there's a lot of the hitches, tow hitches and things like that, and the trailers where a whole bunch of fun is at, and the boneyard where you can find parts for any of your tools that are broken. And just lots of larger stuff are out back.
That's cool. And that was a darn good virtual tour, brother. You really did. You just walked us through it really, really well. And I'll turn it over to Andreas to kind of speak of the virtual presence you have, not auditory.
Yeah, no. So tell us a little bit about like kind of like your online presence and how people can find you online.
Well, we have an eBay store.
Okay, cool.
With over 800 items, and I'm constantly adding things. I added like
Man,
50.
that is some diligence right there.
Yeah. That's quite a bit.
He's like 8 a day for 100 days.
Sometimes. Well, I mean, like last week I did over 50 because I had just a whole bunch, and I hadn't done it in a little while, so I added a whole bunch, and I'm constantly, I constantly have stuff in there.
My hats off to you, man.
So, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
So you have the eBay store. So does someone just put in Tucson Tool Shop on eBay and it pulls up your store?
Right now it's still under Kent's Tools, the number 4U.
Okay.
I thought I had it changed and everything like that, and all I did was change like the username on there. So I'm working with Kent to do that.
So just Google or eBay search Kent's Tools, and then where are some of those other online presence at? Because your website, I heard you have a virtual tour there.
Yeah. I have a video that was filmed where I walk people through and show them everything. On TucsonToolShop.com. There's a link that takes you to YouTube so you can see the whole video.
Nice.
It's only like I think maybe 2 minutes long, but it's pretty awesome because I take you through each and every little nook and cranny and show you things like that. And then there was also a drone that flew over the back so you can see all the backyard and all the awesomeness out there.
Yes, shout out to, I can't remember the name of you know the name of the organization that did that video.
Southern Arizona.
Something of another. Yes, we will leave a link in the underneath the YouTube for their name, because they do some great videos.
It was Sam Azaris.
Yeah.
And also Brittany Gutman with
yeah, absolutely.
You know, they were the ones that helped kind of pay for it and get
awesome.
It going.
Yeah, and they do pristine videos, so I wanted to give them their flowers, because they definitely put together a really great video on that. So, but outside of that, for people who want to utilize your services or take advantage of the great deals you guys have, how can they do that?
You can always come by and see me in person. I really enjoy that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
133 East Grant Road. It's Grant, 1 block east of Stone on the north side of the road. You can also give me a call on our shop phone number at 520-624-8098. You can also call me or text me on my cell phone at 520-633-5599. TucsonToolShop@gmail.com. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, those are all good ways to get a hold of you. And once again, Billy, great time. I'm still getting used to this new facial hair thing that you got going on here, but it'll grow on me. And I'm glad that virtual tour that you took us on, that was pretty cool, because it definitely, I wanted to ask so many more questions, particularly like how do you organize it, or have you ever considered reorganizing it? But we'll get to that next time. But thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Always a good time.
That's Billy Hill with Tucson Tool Shop. I'm Pastor John McLean here with Andreas Ruiz of I Believe in Myself. And we will catch you next time. As always, want to thank our sponsors. You know who they are. Definitely go to commongoodtucson.com to check them out. Check us out also on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Smoke Signal. Catch me on my mom's dinner table. She has a picture of me with my sister. I mean, we're all over the place, people. You gotta keep
milk
tuned
cartons.
in. God bless.